Got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is it good to you? Can you do the things that I do now? I can take you high. Oh, I'm on fire. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, hit you and dug and cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my skull. Oh, at night I wake up, sheets soaking wet, afraid to dream through the middle of my head and hold me. Could cool my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Catch you up on places I've been, and you have this and that. Probably got excited, but there's nothing else inside. Didn't have a camera by my side this time, hoping I would see the world through both my eyes. Maybe I will tell you all about it. With words, today the skies are painted colors of a cowboy cliche. Ain't it strange how the lights that look like mountains in the sky are next to mountains, and we didn't have a camera by my side this time, hoping I would see the world through both my eyes. Maybe I would tell you all about it without limit. Oh, true knows my way back there. Me say you should have seen that sunrise with your own eyes. speaking out. Oh, with me. Oh, today I finally overcame. Trying to fit the world inside of a picture frame. Maybe I will tell you all about it when I never to lose my way. But let me say you should have seen that sunrise with your eyes. It brought me back to life. Oh, no, you be with me next time I go outside. Just know we're 3 by 5. Oh, just know, no, 3 by 5.
What up, what up? It's your boy Conserviz34. That was John Mayer from March 19th, 2022, out in San Francisco, California, for this second night out there at the Chase Center, a fairly new arena, opened a couple years ago, right before the pandemic. So welcome to This Week in John Mayer. There was a little bit of a break here because there was not John Mayer shows. There was the members of the touring band, including John, got COVID-19, and that then in effect impacted the tour, which they pushed out some dates from the East Coast and decided to re-up it back on the West Coast. Thank you for everyone who's watching this live. Thank you for everyone who may be watching this on the replay. I'm trying to create more of a community of John Mayer fans on YouTube here where we can interact. I've done the same thing if you guys are fans of Dave Matthews Band. But I felt like, hey, man, no one's like, there's people that are putting videos up, but no one's really having these interactions. I don't see fans on YouTube talking about John Mayer. So I figured, hey, why not? And we're going to be going to Instagram. Shout out to Matt Mayer, who did a heck of a job with this Mayer Madness bracket. He's done it in years past. And if you're not a part of Instagram, make an Instagram account just for Mayer Madness. We're going to talk about that a little later in the show. And let me just post this to Twitter so people know that I am live on Twitter. So who am I? Conserviz34. I take live concert footage. I allow others to use that footage if they want to add their tape or audio, if they're making a compilation. Shout out to, let me get this right. I did pass some video over to, let's see, who was it? Let's make sure we get this right. But I did pass some video over so that it could be uploaded and used for a YouTube content creator. And was it? Who was it? Let's see. Oh, Rickard Holmquist on IG. I gave him some things, and he has some awesome Mayer content. So, anyway, let's get this live on Twitter. I'm going to share this link. Let people know I'm live, and we'll get started. All right. So, a couple of things that I wanted for this tour after the break. If you watched my first episode of This Week in John Mayer for 2022, I showed you footage from the Albany show I went to. We looked at some of the other shows. I wanted to have the acoustic set back. I thought for the first leg of the tour, the first show, there was not a actual acoustic set. And I thought when he was going to play Your Bodies of Wonderland, hey, maybe it's going to go into something, but it was not. It was the first full band, Bodies of Wonderland. Because of various things with the drummer getting COVID-19 initially, they did start to do that in Madison Square Garden where they played full sets of acoustic stuff. Like, a whole part of the show, not just three songs, but a whole part of the show was acoustic. I thought that was awesome and unique. Even though New York City, if it was full electric, they would have got some major surprises, I bet. But with the drummer out, they kind of had to stick to the script. But they did get Questlove in there for a couple of songs, so that was unique as well. Going to this here for who he played with, Questlove uh, did appear on 6 songs here. uh, Gravity, Clarity, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, Something Like Olivia, Beautiful Ones, and Vultures. So there was some things he appeared on, but you know, I was like, I need this acoustic set back, even though I'm not going to these West Coast shows. First show back at Vegas, they do the In Your Atmosphere Freeze Falling combination, and then Neon, which is awesome. These are 3 awesome songs, different tunings for all of these songs, which is pretty cool. Those acoustics. So they came back with Vegas, and they do have that acoustic set, and that's what I wanted back for sure. You do get some stuff in between here. You get the Gravity, Slow Dancing there. Carry Me Away was played in Albany, so they had, there was some stuff in here. Now Belief was brought back. It hasn't been played every night, but the acoustic set coming back for Vegas was awesome. We move to the 13th. We go to Inglewood, the LA Forum, which is also Paul Pierce, NBA players from Inglewood, California as well. We get Walt Grace. It comes back. So we get a Walt Grace that comes back, and that was awesome. That was really, really awesome there. And I I love this song. I'm glad that it did come back for this tour. And this is the only place so far. Now, if we go back to the 2019 tour, they played at the second show of the tour of the North American tour, and I was there at Providence, Rhode Island. I'm gonna say Massachusetts. John Mayer. So they did play it kind of really quickly, um, in off the 2019 tour. And this is the plan. Let's bring this video up here so you guys can see this. This is John playing it, right? And I really love this song. I think it's just a beautiful song. It's something different. And he's got the resonator on this that he always uses. Like, this is an awesome guitar and an awesome song. Sometimes people talk during it, especially when I saw it in Providence. Some people were talking because it was an acoustic set, and they had a set break. They don't have a set break this year, which is kind of better because you don't have all those people coming back to their seats. And this is just a beautiful song that they brought back, and I thought they should have brought this back, as I said. So that's Walt Grace, and let's see. So we have Inglewood gets Walt Grace back. We get Neon Free Falling. And the first night of of the form, the biggest thing is really that Walk Grace. Everything else has been played before. Um, same standard Last Train Home, which starts off all three nights of pretty much every show they've started Last Train Home. Now, the second night of Inglewood, they have a couple of different surprises. Now, Neon and In Your Atmosphere is, again, these two are played. So a little bit of a shorter, not the 3 song, but 2 songs. Let's see, back there we had 3. But night 2, you have 3 of these. You get Changing coming back in the rotation. Helpless comes back in the rotation. Clarity is played, and that's awesome. I love that that's back. I really think Heavier Things needs to be in more rotation. I want to get an Only Heart. I want a full band. Something's Missing. We awesome. They get Belief here. They repositioned Belief compared to the last time it had been played. They started after acoustic set, a nice song to start off the full band again. We get the first Assassin since 2010, which we're going to close out the show with. Stop This Train, Rosie, Carry Me Away, Beautiful One, Slow Dancing, and The Blood Gravity. We have a 2-set encore. So these Inglewood shows, we get 2 sets for both of these. Waiting on the World Change, New Light, and Dear Marie, which is an awesome song. Paradise Valley and Born and Raised, to me, they grow on me year over year even more. When they first came out, I wasn't huge fans of them, but I've become more and more of a fan of these. Night 3, we get another Walk Grace. So we get it night 1 and a night 3. Hey, you can never have enough Walk Grace. And we get an Edge of Desire coming back in the rotation. It had already been played before, but nice to get it again. We get a 1-song encore here and about a 3-song acoustic set. So there's this, John isn't doing crazy set list variation, but I like how he's still varying the sets up. You would think with 3 nights of the form that you would have a couple more rarities, but I mean, before John was playing with the Dead, there was limited variation anyway. I would say slightly more, around the same, since he's been in Dead and Company. But what's really been unique is he does this, full band, acoustic full band. Or when he was searching for everything, he did the full band, trio, acoustic. He did all those different things. So the LA shows are nice. It's almost like a tour reset, right? So they have to kind of get these songs back under their feet after having some time off. We did have Isaiah Sharkey do some like studio stuff and produce some stuff, put it on IG. We had Greg Gaines doing some IG live stuff. There, David Ryan Harris doing some studio stuff as well. On this tour break, where they were kind of, hey, I'm just displaying my musical talents while we have this time off. Support your boy, and you should support them. Isaiah Sharkey and David Ryan Harris. Follow them on Instagram there. So after that, we have San Francisco. We get the Beyonce cover EXO that actually was also a single. That is, people love it. Love John's take on this, including Beyonce. And Your Atmosphere, Neon. So EXO's the tour debut here for the Chase Center in San Francisco. You get a Still Feel Like Your Man, which if we look at the song chart, Still Feel Like Your Man should be a couple of times. We got 4 of them so far. We'll look at the song spread in a second. Another Edge of Desire, which is nice. I love Edge of Desire. I'm glad it's back in the rotation. It's been played on other tours, but it's been nice to see it back again. We have a Last Train Home. Again, obviously starting off all these shows. Love on the Weekend kind of comes back in the rotation. I'm glad it's being played less. I'm not a huge fan of that. That's like one of the few songs where I'm like, let's skip this. I love Shouldn't Matter, but it does. Wild Blue and Shouldn't Matter What It Does, and All I Want Is to Be With You. Those are like my 3 favorite of the new music. Those 3 are really solid. Now, this is what we played at the intro, the I'm on Fire 3x5 Neon. You could argue this is the best This San Francisco is the best acoustic set of the tour. You could argue that, as far as when you have these smaller 3 songs. Obviously, New York was unique with those acoustic songs all weekend, being played there. Um, Wild Blue, I will say, is the best song from. It's the best live song from the new album. That song, being in the building, Albany first night, man, it just gave me chills, and like the reverb and the delay and the chorus type of feel of it. It's amazing to hear that there. So, and a nice little ending to the full band set. Edge of Desire ending the full band set is pretty dope there. Um, so let's look at the song spread. The top songs here, 11 each, meaning they were played every night. Wild Blue, Beautiful Ones, Prince Cover, Slow Dancing, New Light, Last Train Home, and Gravity. Those are the songs that are in rotation the most. I do agree with these being the ones that should be in most rotation. Belief, 10 of 11. I missed it for Albany. I think I did, yeah. Yep, because Wells Fargo was the first night. Yep. Shot in the Dark has 10. Who Says has 10. So it did get a little, Who Said got a little bit of a break, right? Because if we look at the spread here, it was played all 3 nights of Inglewood, but was not played at the Chase Center. It was not played. What is it? Because 10, yeah, it wasn't played at Chase Center the second night on the 19th. But it has been one of those in rotation. Again, another solid song that should be played a lot. Your Body's in Wonderland, 9 shows here. Edge of Desire is at 7 with I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You. These are 2 awesome songs here. These 2 11 songs, Edge of Desire, Don't Trust Yourself. I mean, these 2 7 songs. And we have, it goes down here. Let's look at the 1 count songs. We got 3x5, Assassin. We zoom in here. 3x5, Assassin, Born and Raised, Daughters, I'm on Fire, If I Ever Get Around to Living, Moving On and Getting Over, No Such Thing, Queen of California, Something's Missing, Age of Worry, Waiting on a Day, Why Georgia, and EXO. Interesting that Why Georgia's only been played once. And again, I said this in the first episode, the longest song gap in any given tour, world tour, for it not to be debuted was this year. Why Georgia took 3 shows, right? For before it came out, it took 3 shows. Because if we look at the whole stretch here, we had, oh no, it took 1, 2, 3, 4. It took 5 shows. Sorry. Albany, Wells Fargo, MSG twice. It was not played until DC. I forgot about that. Yeah. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It took 5 shows. 4 was omitted from there. Oops, let me go back. And I still say, listen, I don't like how they do this. They put Gravity as a John Mayer trio song, and then you have like, the problem is it messes up everything with this rotation of how many songs are played. Although, wait, does it say? Continue on. Yeah, because it says there's 11 Gravity covers. To me, Gravity is a oh, Brandon, I'll get you a comment in a second. I saw that. To me, Gravity is a John Mayer song. It premiered on the Trio album, but really it won a Grammy, right? But it was like it's based on Continuum, right? That was a live album, and I don't count that as even. I know it's technically a John Mayer Trio album, but it's a John Mayer song. And one example I'll give of this is the Dave Matthews Band had Ants Marching on a album called Remember Two Things. Ants Marching in the D&B community is considered a Under the Table and Dreaming recording, where that's the recording that was the studio version, and the original one was live. So DMB fans consider Ants Marching and a Satellite and a couple other songs that were on that Remember Two Things kind of like release. They put it to the Under the Table, the Dreaming album. I think that Mayor World should do the same. Um, so Brandon says, I'm surprised Moving and Cream aren't being played as much either. Here's what I think. Moving On and Getting Over is a really good song in Queen of California, but they have a lot of different transitions. If I was to cut stuff from Search of Everything and Born and Raised, I would cut those two songs because Queen of California, it takes up a lot of time in the set list. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think that there are more intriguing songs from Born and Raised that should be played more frequently. And if we even look at the song spread, right? So you could like a walk like a something like Olivia is a nice little diddly from there that they can just rotate in. They have it 4 times. Walk Grace, I would pick it over Queen of California. Born and Raised, which has only been played once. I actually that's another long song. If you notice these songs, Age of Worry is pretty quick. That's just because it's not as big of a hit. But Queen of California, if I ever get around to living, and Born and Raised, they take a lot of, I don't want to say time, but they're very in-depth songs. So to play those every night, when we're this far from Born and Raised, I think I kind of get that. Because something like Liver, you just bust through it, boom, it's in and out. Walk Grace is a beautiful acoustic song that doesn't interrupt the main sets. And but these songs, Born and Raised, if I ever get around to living in Queen of California, are very in-depth songs. You really have to take it takes you on a journey, and there are other matters that need to be addressed in the Sob Rock tour that are taking up more space. With more songs, becomes less space for a lot of this stuff. Battle Studies. Let's take a look at this. Who Says is obviously the obvious one you should be playing a lot. Edge of Desire. I think they got this right. These are the 3 songs. If I had to pick 3 songs from uh this from Battle Studies, I would probably pick these. Heartbreak Warfare. I would love to see it get a 1 or 2 spot in the next couple of weeks. Get 1 or 2 plays in there. It's a nice song. They opened up in Providence. It's kind of fun, but again, these songs like Who Said is an awesome, just on its own, great song. Edge's Desire is my favorite song on the album, and Assassin is underrated. I'm glad it's back. It needs to be in rotation more. It's the first time it's been played since 2010, right? So it's been a while. And Sob Rock, if we look at this rotation, um, I think they got the message that Why You Know Love Me is not a song that people want to hear. They have not played it. I don't mind this song. I know it's very cheesy and really horribly written, but I don't mind it. What it says, for the 3rd and 4th time this year, hoping to finally hear Olivia or In Your Atmosphere. Okay. So you've been to a lot of shows. That's awesome. Brandon, did you go to the West Coast shows at all? Because I want to hear what people thought of this West Coast leg. If you have been to those, let me know if you've been to the West Coast. Now, what I want to do is so again, just to recap everything, Acoustic Set is back. I think it's good. I like the songs they're playing in heavy rotation, and I think they're doing a good job of as far as on that end. What I want to do next, I want to get into Mayor Madness here and talk about this. So Mayor Madness has a couple of different regions. Shout out to Matt Mayer, who I tagged and he had reposted stuff. Um, I met Matt on Twitter and I started just doing some silly videos. I was bored and just making some silly stuff, giving my opinions. And he was always willing to share and provide my input, other fans' input. Everything has moved to IG, which I think is actually the better. I like it on IG better. It's just a better space. Twitter is, and I'm sure Matt agrees with me, but Twitter is just, even though I'm on it for certain reasons, it's too much right now. It's extra, and they censor some stuff, and then people, I don't know, it's just a mess. People say stuff, and then they protect their tweets, and they block you, and they don't even want to have a comment anyway on everything. But I think IG is the way to go. So let's look at this Go Cry About It, Why Don't You region. We have a couple second round advances: Slow Dancing, Wait on the Day, Wildfire, Shot in the Dark, Vultures, Free Falling, Something's Missing, Edge of Desire. Now, here's the thing. 3x5, I was shocked at this one advance. If we look at right here, the 314, we zoom in here. Free Falling, I thought should have lost to 3x5. That's just my personal opinion. I think 3x5 is one of the best John Mayer songs. The Free Falling cover is the bigger crowd pleaser. So that's why I probably advanced, and it's a great cover. But I just think 3x5 is amazing. It should have had that 14-3 upset. Um, Wildfire, Upset, Waiting on the World to Change. In the seeding, Waiting on the World to Change is the more popular song, but I get John Mayer fans. Waiting on the World to Change kind of, it's when it first came out. Now, some people may think it's relevant, right? We are waiting on the world to change in many different ways. Um, but I mean, I just think that the it's kind of commercially. Hey, thank you, Typical Times, aka Ron from Colorado. Thanks for stopping in. Um, Split Screen Sadness, Waiting on the Day, that 8-9 matchup. This was tough for me. Waiting on the Day is an awesome song. That B minor in the like little chorus part is, it gets me every time. But I mean, it could have gone either way. I like Split Screen Sadness, but I think some of the reason I like it is because it's rarer. If I had to hear it so much more in live shows, who knows? But I think Split Screen Sadness is just like, it's like a, that song could be in a movie. Like when that part in the movie where the love interest, like something happens and they're kind of like apart, and then before they come together, you play that. Slow Dancing should win this region. It should win the tournament, in my opinion. Out of this. Oh, and Something's Missing, Upset, Covered in Rain. Kind of a little bit of a shocker. Now this region, we had Think I'm Gonna Stay region, and I thought in your Assassin, to me, oh, it's a tough first round matchup. If Assassin was in a different part of the bracket, I would have picked Assassin to go farther and almost face. I think Assassin would face In Your Atmosphere, from my opinion, my personal fan opinion. I think Assassin is that good. In Your Atmosphere isn't just, oh, it's a good song. And the harmonics, the little pings that you hear, those are harmonics, and it's just a beautiful song. So I could see that going to the final four. In the Blood's a great song. Be Age of Worry, New Light, Be Comfortable. Comfortable is a great song, but it's a John Mayer song that's like an acoustic, not complete song. New Light has the energy to be a great song overall, but Comfortable is a nice little diddly. I have my Inside Once Out. Let me go grab that real quick. Let me show you my Inside One Out EP. Yeah, I got my John Mayer Inside Once Out EP there. I still got this, you know. What y'all know about that? Now, some of y'all, hey, some of y'all may have the B-sides. I don't know if anyone has this on. Now, listen, I can't tell you where I got my B-side of Heavier Things. Some of y'all at home may have that Heavier Things B-side CD with Tracing on it. But I think that yeah, In Your Atmosphere is the favorite. I mean, and oh, the 11-6, the 11-6 matchup, Clarity was an upset. Now, I think overall, Who Says has a special moment in every given show. As we said, it was, one of those that was played 10 times out of 11. But Clarity is just a beautiful song. I love Clarity. I love Heavier Things. The more older I get, the more I love Heavier Things. So I get why that one. And Dear Marie Buster, You're Gonna Live Forever in Me. But You're Gonna Live Forever in Me was a moment during the. It was a moment during the shows during the Search for Everything. It's a very emotional song. I think about it with my grandfather passing away in 2020, and some other people who have passed away before that. When the song came out, I thought about people who had passed away before that that I love and care about. Um, so I really think that In Your Atmosphere and Slow Dancing are going to make it. I don't really see what can stop them at this point. Um, and I did vote them through to the next round. So we have the second round matchups. Now, I think what's interesting is this something's missing on this side of the bracket. The something's missing Edge of Desire matchup will be interesting. Those are both great songs. Edge of Desire could upset something's missing. It just depends on where the fans are voting here. And let's go over to, oops, that's the wrong thing. Oops. We're going to go over to this side of the. Now, here's the thing. This side of the bracket, we're going to do the twice as much and twice as good. All right. Obviously, Why You Know Love We got booted. This Gravity Wheel matchup. What's up, Stupid Almanac? Thank you for popping in. Here's my thing. Gravity obviously is one of the most. It's the song from John Mayer that's known. It won a Grammy, right? It's a great song. I like Wheel better. This could also be biased towards the fact that it's rarely played, but Wheel is just. It's a more relatable song because Gravity is John Mayer has made it so big and he's afraid of just falling down, which he ended up actually doing and fell back. And Gravity is a great song, but I think Wheel is better. Heart of Life beating Love on the Weekend, that was right. No Such Thing beating My Stupid Mouth, of course. Heartbreak Warfare goes on. I'm gonna find another. Yeah, I agree with that. Now this is an upset, but I think it's just because Your Body's a Wonderland. First of all, it's a very. The thing is, there are songs that John plays that sound easy that are hard to play, or they're just pop hits. Like Neon is a song that you could just it was one of those pop hits, but it's hard to play. Your Body is a Wonderland is an easy song to play. It's very simple. All I Want to Be With You is an easier song, but it has such a bigger meaning. And shout out to Fatima on Instagram. If you're watching this or watch this on replay, this was one that she really, really likes, and she's been posting that on IG, and really one that she would want to make it all the way to the end. And that's okay. And this is the thing; it's such a great song. That's the thing about Cyrock. Some people were very resistant to it. All I Want to Be With You is one of those. It's like, wow, this is a really, really great song. Neon makes it over Paper Doll as it should. In Repair makes it over Half of My Heart as it should. Why Georgia made it over Why You Know Love Me again as it. I mean, nobody's debating that. I think there may be someone who likes the cheesiness of it, but I think that was just a miss on John's opportunity. I don't mind the song, I really don't, but I see why people don't like it, and it's not. If I have to put it head to head against other songs, it's going to be ranking lower. Um, Stop This Train region. You're only good at being young. Fatima, yes. Oh, there she is. Yes, thank you so much. We've been having some great conversations today with between DMB and all this. Yes, All I Want to Be With You, one of my top 5 songs. And this the thing is like I can't like it's such even if you're not like Fatima, the song has like you can have your favorites over that. Maybe it's not in your top 5, but it's just an overall great song. It's just a great song that just is it's one of those wow, he hit us with this. I wasn't expecting a song like this on Sob Rock, even though it's Sob Rock, like it was a really well done. Stop This Train advances over St. Patrick's Day. This is where I feel again, St. Patrick's Day is an amazing song. It's up against Stop This Train. If it wasn't, I would have it advance further. I love St. Patrick's Day, and obviously it just was St. Patrick's Day. Um, it's such a beautiful song, and oh, it fills my heart listening to that song. Bigger Than My Body lost to Something Like Olivia. I think it's just because the Something Like Olivia just became one of those songs that's in rotation that people love. Bigger Than My Body is a good song. It's hard though because again, Something Like Olivia, there's something about the content of Something Like Olivia that I think it flows better than Bigger Than My Body. So I can see why it kind of upset it. But either way, I wouldn't be upset either way, like no matter who advanced there. Belief versus Rosie. Obviously, Belief is gonna go through. Guess I Just Feel Like beat Daughters. This again is, I think, the depth of the song. The depth of Guess I Just Feel Like versus Daughters. Daughters is a deep song, but Guess I Just Feel Like just has those vibes, right? It has those vibes. It has that depth. It has that emotion. Even though Daughters had that when it first came out, it's one of those mainstream songs that we've heard so much, it's been overplayed. If Daughters was a song that was, let's just say Mayer got married 2 years ago and had a daughter and then released Daughters like right now, right? Obviously, his career probably wouldn't be, it could have been the same trajectory, but Daughters was a big hit for him. But if he released that and he has a baby girl that's like, that was born this year and he releases it on Sob Rock, it would be like, oh my gosh, that Daughters would probably make it pretty far. That's what's interesting. And I talk about this with Dave Matthews Band. They had a song called Windows. They're singing through the windows. Dave did. I believe that if Dave Matthews would have put that song on a single and put video of people in the pandemic, that song would have got millions of views during the pandemic. Now, yes, he's making money. He's making views off of the proceeds of that song could have went towards the pandemic. But Dave Matthews strategically having a song like Singing Through the Windows as a solo cut or a full band during the pandemic, he would have went viral. He would have went viral if he would have released that in 2020. But he didn't, right? Whatever. He just played it a couple of times. But if he would release that, so if John Mayer had a daughter, even though Daughters is one of his biggest hits, in this thing, if he had a daughter that was just born, Daughters would have probably made it to the close to try to beat Stop This Train. Now, the bottom half of this bracket, we have Walt Grace that advances over Helpless. I agree with that. Wild Blue to me is my pick of this region. I think Wild Blue is the best one. I even like it at this point. Stop This Train hits. I will say Stop This Train hits different at 31 versus 21. Right? When I saw Mayor in 2012 and I was 21 versus being 31. Was that? Yeah, because I have an October birthday. So I don't turn 32 until October. Hey, that's what's nice about having a late birthday. Now all my friends are turning 32. I'm like, I'm 31. But this Walt Grace, I mean, Wild Blue should at least go to the final against Stop This Train in this region and then make it. I think it should make it to the Final Four. Last Train Home beats Should It Matter, but it does. Here's my thing. I think both of these songs are Should It Matter what it does is one. I love that song off of this, but Last Train Home, here's the versatility of both versions. The ballad version and the regular version make it amazing. That ballad version, it's like, oh, you thought, I'm gonna do another version of this. I love both of those versions. So Last Train Home. Now, I don't think it shouldn't be I Don't Trust Myself. And I think the Wild Blue, I Don't Trust Myself will be a pretty nice matchup. Right now, Wild Blue just hits different because it's newer. I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You is another good song, though. And it has that depth and it has that emotion. And playing that song, it's just so good. John Mayer's songs, and I had a video about this during the last Mayor Madness. John Mayer's songs about heartbreak and all this stuff, and I want to be with you, Edge of Desire, and all I want is to be with you, and all like that's his bet. That's his bread and butter. So again, for the Final Four, I sent this to Fatima. Let me see if it's the same as what I sent you. I would say from the top region, Slow Dancing obviously is going to make it. My personal pick, what I would want to go from this assassin obviously lost. That was my pick for this version. So in your atmosphere should be the winner. I picked assassin when I was talking to Fatima the other day, and then from this from this one I would have picked Will. That was my pick, but obviously it lost. So I'm gonna put Gravity up there, and then Wild Blue I'm gonna put to that final four. That's my final four: Gravity, Will, In Your Atmosphere, and Slow Dancing. I have Slow Dancing making it to the final against Gravity or Wild Blue. I'll just say for the sake of things, Gravity versus Slow Dancing, and Slow Dancing wins. The other thing we want to look at really quickly is we have this was a little fun play-in tournament. Continuum obviously won. So we look at this. Sob Rock beat Room for Squares. That's interesting because I think Room for Squares is a better album. Like if we were to take away how I'm feeling about Sob Rock right now, Room for Squares has much more versatility. So I think it should have won. And Continuum obviously is going to beat Paradise Valley. Born and Raised beats Battle States. I agree with that. As I've gotten older, Born and Raised hits different. Heavier Things versus Search for Everything. This one is tough because the Search for Everything has everything I want in an album, and the Search for Everything is one of the best late late in career albums when John's already had 4 or 5. How many albums did he have before that? John had a whole arsenal of albums, and to write the Search for Everything that late in his career is a very monumental moment. But I think Heavier Things, man, like I just like the content. I like the content. Now, John Mayer's personality in the Search for Everything is much better than his jerk, cocky ways of Heavier Things. Continuum would won that. Fatima says, I wonder what would happen if you took Slow Dancing and Gravity off the bracket. Yeah, they're the best and most popular. So let's take a look at that. What if we did that? Right. So we would just say automatically Say would advance, but Say would be beat by Waiting on the Day. I think if you take away Slow Dancing from this top part of the bracket, I would say Edge of Desire or Vultures makes it to the final four, and In Your Atmosphere has a good chance to win. So Gravity doesn't make it. I would say Why Georgia would probably make it. Why Georgia maybe because it was a 2 seed. Like Why Georgia probably makes it here. So you have hmm. I would say In Your Atmosphere makes the final on this side, on the left side. On the right side, you probably have I Don't Trust Myself. And I think I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You wins. I think it beats I Don't Trust Myself beats In Your Atmosphere. That's well stated question there. Um, but I think I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You is again, it's the 2 seed. I would say that would be like the best song. Now you could say Wild Blue beats it, right? You could say Wild Blue may beat it, but I think that a more storied song would beat Wild Blue if we had to take. I think people's mindsets would change, and I think that again, I Don't Trust Myself and Wild Blue will be a good matchup there if it beats Walt Grace. Um, so looking at the tour, let's go to let's see. Let's see. So the next stop on the tour is Seattle. Climate Pledge Arena, a newly renovated arena. It used to be the Key Arena. Key Arena was the home of the Seattle Sonics, and Seattle Storm, after the Sonics left, the Storm were still there. They had some concerts here and there, but it was more the Seattle Storm's main thing. Let's look at let's see if we can do John Mayer tour just to see. Oh, that's I forget. All those ticket companies, they pay to have their stuff at the top of the page so that people, it does actually help them to buy more. You could do the John Mayer official site here. Yeah, but they actually pay to have those. So we're going to look at the Saab Rock Tour. So Climate Pledge Arena for 2 nights in Seattle. Here's what's crazy. For all my Pearl Jam and Dave Matthews Band fans, no Dave Matthews Band shows here. No Pearl Jam fans. No Pearl Jam shows as of right now, March 21st, 2022, scheduled for this venue. John Mayer already has two. Kind of wild. Dave Matthews lives in Seattle. Pearl Jam is Seattle music from the grunge. I personally like not Audio Slave. I personally like over Pearl Jam. I like Soundgarden better. But Pearl Jam's the more popular band. Obviously, rest in peace to Chris Cornell. They're just much more popular. They go to Salt Lake City and Denver, and that's going to wrap up the West Coast. So they went to LA, they went to the Bay area, and they're going to the Pacific Northwest. Then they hit Salt Lake City and Denver. They're going to go down to Sunrise, Florida, and Tampa. So they're going to go to the East Coast and the West Coast. Yeah, Chris Cornell's voice. Yeah, people don't. I know Eddie Vedder's voice has people have mixed feelings on it, but Chris Cornell had a beautiful voice. My first concert, rest in peace to Chris, was Linkin Park, and Chris Cornell opened up with them and played his Soundgarden and Audio Slave and solo stuff. And it was Chris Cornell's birthday, 7/20/2008 in Hartford, and they sang "Happy Birthday" to Chris. And after Chris sang vocals on "Crawling," so they have. All right, going back to this, you have Sunrise, Florida is right next to Fort Lauderdale. Then you have Amale and Rita in Tampa. So you get the East Coast, West Coast of Florida. You get Atlanta for 2 shows. I'm sure why Georgia is going to be played. You have Charlotte and Nashville. These are big markets for John as well. Atlanta, Charlotte, and Nashville. Austin for 2 shows at the Moody. Fatima, I think you said you're going to be thinking about going to something out there in Texas. And I guess you're doing well. I know you said you had some tornado warnings. So you got 3 shows there, and Dallas too. Don't forget DFW. All the people in the DFW. Then 2 shows in Chicago, and a lot of these were extended because of overwhelming demand. And it looks like Yeba is this main act that's going to be in these shows. Alexander 23. I wonder if I don't see the thing is with these shows, it'll be interesting to see if they get someone else. Alexander 23 was supposed to be on these East Coast shows that were rescheduled. So they probably have other obligations. Oh, Dallas for sure, and maybe Austin. I would say, I would just say go to the like now you could go to all. I mean, by it's all your choice. I think with this tour, if you go to one show, it's fine. If you need to get an extra fix, that's fine as well. I speaking of that, I may go to Boston just because I want to get the feel of this post COVID break mayor. I may go. I'm still not sure. I may or may not go. I get it going. There's a couple of shows here. Belmont's going to be a weekend. What's funny is Belmont was supposed to be a weekend date, a weekday date. Now it's the weekend, and these Boston shows were during the week. I was just at the TD Garden on Saturday. They have a lot going on between the Bruins and the Celtics potentially having playoff series. So those dates were hard to schedule. The Islanders aren't going to be in the playoffs. They're long gone. So they're just last I checked. So they're to keep this on the weekend. But this was also a date that they weren't going to have a playoff game here, May 7th. That's what you got to realize. For those of you guys who were like, oh man, why did they have to reschedule these weird dates? Toronto has a hockey team. Pittsburgh has a hockey team. Islanders have a hockey team. And Boston has a hockey team. So they have to have dates. Toronto has a basketball team. and the TD Garden has a basketball team, the Celtics. So they have to save those dates for them. The TD Garden is also hosting a lot of different things. They just had a Hockey East tournament for college hockey. They have the NCAA men's college hockey national championship in the semifinals a couple of days before, the Frozen Four. So it's hard to reschedule these. Buy the tickets. YOLO have a mayor. I never heard that. That's why I want to see more show if I can. Yeah, I agree. Buy the tickets, but listen, with this economy, now again, I think in some situations you should buy the tickets. Life is short but sweet for certain. But listen, with some of this stuff with gas, the reason I say that too is because some people, Fatima, between me and you know this because we're Dave Matthews Band fans. Some people buy those tickets and then they got bills. They're not paying for their kids' stuff. Not everyone, but some people will buy these tickets and then they're broke. And all of a sudden they're selling posters because they spent too much on the tour. I do not think it's worth going into financial peril. And I know that's not you, Fatima, but listen, some of the folks, it's almost like when you have like when they have to tell you like in the little thing, do not put the coffee in your lap. Don't pour hot coffee in your lap because they sued McDonald's for that. It's because someone did it, right? You have to tell people on a public forum like this, don't always buy the tickets because if someone you cannot sue me for saying I told you to buy the tickets. I'm saying to use discretion. If you cannot financially afford it, do not buy the tickets. If you can, buy them. And I'm saying that because everything is going up right now. Price of gas is going up. Matter of fact, I've been preparing for the price of gas to go up. I am a child that was born into the highest gas prices in the country at the time back in 2008, right? I was just learning how to drive in 2007, right? In 2006, 2006, 2007, I was learning how to drive. Got my license in 07. So I've been preparing for gas to go up. I always knew when I was a high school kid, had to work just to afford gas. I was working, half my paycheck was to gas. All right, maybe not that much, but at that time. So I've been prepared for this. I have an Elantra, so it's a very eco-friendly car. I've suffered through crazy snow in the Elantra just because I knew at some point these gas prices were going up. Now I'm looking like a smart guy because I got 40 miles to the gallon going up to Boston this weekend. 40 miles to the gallon round trip to go up to Boston. So, and the highway is 38. So eco mode is for the win. All right. Well, that's all I really have for right now. I will try to do a show. Stay tuned. You'll follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Conservist34. We're going to have another show. If you went to a show or if you're going to a show, I want to have people on that went to a show. So if you're going to shows this next week, Seattle for 2, Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City. If you're going to Denver, these shows here in March, if you're going to any of these shows, please let me know. Message, put yourself in the comments. And then what we'll try to do is have you on next week. Maybe I'll do this next Monday again. Stay tuned though. It could be another date. Let's see. Because I'm going to, oh yeah, I should be able to. Because I don't have any concerts next week. But thank you guys for watching. Everyone on the replay, thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Definitely comment. Definitely subscribe. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you for everyone else who stopped in. Stupid Almanac, Ron from Colorado, a.k.a. Typical Times. Brandon, thank you so much for popping in as well. And what we're going to do, I'm going to end you guys off on Assassin. Oh, I have it here, John Mayer. And you guys off on Assassin. And again, if you want to see Matt Mayer, I'm going to put his information up again because you follow him, you can vote, check out daily for various updates. And you guys will be able to see that as well. So again, Matt Mayer, I'm going to go to his page. Matt Mayer Music. Subscribe to him, Matt Mayer Music. Let's zoom this in. Matt Mayer Music. This is what you want to follow. I'll put the link in here for his Instagram. So follow Matt. Link above. There, that's his. Hello. Oh, again, this happened again. Hopefully you guys are still on. My Ethernet cable got pulled out. It's like this streaming can't run on Wi-Fi. Or can't adjust. So sorry if there's a little bit of a cutoff or connection issue. We're gonna go to Assassin, and that's gonna close us out here. It's your boy ConstaViz34. Thank you for watching. Peace.
I work in the dead of night when the roads are quiet and no one is around to track a mind, racing the yellow light to find the gate is open. She's waiting in the room. I just slip on through. You get in, you get down, and then you get gone. You never leave a trace to show your face. You get gone. Should've turned around and left before the sun came up again. The sun came up again. To the morning light to find the day is burning, the curtains of the wine in a little while. I know I'm not alone. Her head is heavy on me. She's sleeping like a child. What could I do? You get in, you get down, and then you get gone. Never leave a trace to show your face. You get gone. I should've turned around and left before the sun came up again. But the sun came up again. I wasn't killed, I wasn't this ever seen. I steal your heart before you ever heard a thing. I'm an assassin and I had a job to do. Little did I know that girl was an assassin too. Suddenly I'm over my head. I can't hardly breathe. Suddenly I'm floating over the